Well, geez, that was emotional. Good Boy is a brand new supernatural horror film directed by Ben Leonberg, starring Indy, a 35-pound retriever who has no idea that he's a movie star. And when I first heard about this movie, I was honestly stoked because it sounded like a great premise. You have a horror film from the perspective of a dog, but I also got a little bit nervous after hearing that. Because to put it plainly, I am a massive dog person. Like, I'm a massive animal person, but whenever I watch a movie, if there's a scene with a dog and the dog gets hurt or the dog gets scared, I just can't really take it. I get really emotional, and so you're telling me that this is going to be some paranormal movie and the dog is going to be at the center of it. I mean, obviously, like, the dog's going to get hurt or something. I don't know. I was just really scared about this, but now on the other side of it, after watching it, I realized that I didn't have to be, because this movie, one, is freaking phenomenal. This is such a good movie, and two, with that being said, like, me being a dog person, if you're a dog person out there, that only caters to this movie. Like, they really showcase a lot of love and a lot of heart for the dog at the center of this, which is Indy. So let's talk about it. What is up, my friends? My name is Danny. Welcome back to Jones Vibes. Today I am talking about Good Boy. Now, I do want to preface off the top, this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry about anything like that. I do want to encourage you to drop your thoughts down in the comments as we're talking about it, but without further ado, let's dive in. So the synopsis for Good Boy reads, a man moves into a new home that has supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities start to threaten him, his brave dog comes to the rescue. And I gotta say, that premise is actually a little bit deceiving because it starts with a man. And this movie is about a dog. I mean, to put it plainly, basically, Indy and Todd, so Todd is Indy's best friend, Indy is Todd's best friend, you know what I mean? These two move out to Todd's grandfather's old home, and this is a very creepy old house. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and then things start to happen. And from the perspective of an owner, if you were looking at your dog and they were just staring off into the corner all the time or like barking at random things, you'd probably be a little bit concerned, but the movie isn't from that point of view. Once again, this is all about Indy, and the thing that I appreciated the most, and you kind of noticed this from the jump, is they do not pay any attention to the humans in this movie. They actually make it a point to not show their faces. Like, you'll notice where the camera's placed, that the humans are constantly kind of hitting their marks just in a perfect way where you can't see their face. There really aren't that many humans in this movie. You got Todd, and what he's going through is pretty messed up, and it's scary as hell. It's scary as hell for Indy, it's scary as hell for you as the viewer, because you're just kind of a third party to this whole thing, and as the movie progresses, things get scarier and scarier and darker, but you're with Indy, and I have to say, this is probably the most compelling character I've ever seen in a movie, and I'm not lying about that. Like, any human can try to do their best to give a performance this earnest and honest, but they could never do that because this is a freaking dog. The thing that I've always loved about dogs is they just love you. Like my little girl Tootsie that I have, she looks at me and she just loves me. No matter what, no matter how hard of a day I have, no matter what I'm doing, she is always ready to just give me love and be there for me. And that's what you're dealing with Indy here. He has unwavering support for his owner, and even when he's scared, he chooses to push through that. And they definitely build Indy up as a character as well, and they might go to certain lengths that might not be so believable, but honestly, like, they didn't go too far out there, you know what I mean? They didn't have Indy like flying or something like that. Like, it is pretty realistic. I was just surprised at how far they went with the horror. I didn't expect for this movie to be as scary as it is because, again, you know, before watching it, I was like, man, this is gonna be one of two things. Like, they're either gonna push this way too far and I'm gonna walk out the other side and be like, dude, they shouldn't have hurt that dog, you know what I mean? Or they're just gonna keep it way too light. But they really walked that line of just like tension, and Indy is just a main character that you're walking through this with. And as a critic, they send you out these things called press notes, right? And they kind of break down the cast and stuff. They had a very specific one for Indy in these press notes, and I just want to read it to you guys because I don't know, I honestly get emotional reading this because this is just adorable. But it says, Indy, lead actor. Indy is a middle-aged 35-pound retriever who has no idea that he's a movie star. His favorite things are fetch, food, and his humans. Good Boy is Indy's feature debut following his breakout role in the short film of the same name. And dude, oh my god, I honestly get emotional. I just watched this movie and I got so emotional during it because these dogs don't know, you know what I mean? Indy doesn't know, and when you're watching a dog go through the shit that he has to go through in this movie, it just rips your heart to pieces, because you're just like, no, dude, like, you can do anything you want to Todd, just don't hurt Indy. Because the filmmaker, he truly understood how to lower you down to the proper perspective. There was also some things added to this, so you're not just watching the camera on the dog the entire time, you're actually watching it through the dog's eyes at time. You're also witnessing like dreams that the dog has, and like some of these visions and sequences, and there is an overall story to this entire thing, a very deep and dark story that's taking place all in the background at this cabin, having to do with Todd's family, and you find all of this out somehow through the point of view of a dog. It's really compelling. I think people are going to go nuts for this movie. I just want to encourage people out there that might be second guessing it just because of the fact that it is centered around a dog. I would really encourage you to go watch it. Like, I think the camera work in this movie is really, really great. I think the cinematography is great. I also thought the score was fantastic. The score is done by Sam Bowes-Miller, and while there are some classic horror tropes mixed in there, like, it has this electronic feel at times that kind of continually like thumps, like EDM thumps, like a bass that's constantly guiding this, especially in the third act. And as things get more tense and more tense, the bass just gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and so it definitely leaves you on the edge of your seat. I would also say that the horror imagery is genuinely shocking. Like, there is a presence in this movie. There is paranormal stuff that we're dealing with here, and when you get to that part, even though you might not think that they're gonna take it there, they absolutely take it there. And what this freaking dog, in like the least Air Bud way ever, you know what I mean? Like, you could see yourself rolling your eyes in a movie like this, like, had they done it the wrong way, but they do it the right way. Everything feels earned. Everything feels right. And I go back to saying that it's such a compelling character that you find yourself rooting for Indy in a way that you don't normally root for a main character. Like, it takes a lot in a normal movie with a normal actor or actress to get there, to feel so compelled in the main character that you're like, yes, dude, like, that's what makes a good movie. This movie manages to capture that feeling, and when everything comes together in the end, it's really beautiful, man. I am so impressed by this filmmaker. I am so impressed by this movie. I never thought that I would like it as much as I did, but here we are, man. I just got to give one more shout out to freaking Indy. This dog, you are my dog. You are amazing. Please make sequels with Indy, because he is such a good boy. Truly, the title doesn't even do it justice, man. Indy is such a good boy, and he got so scared, and we all got so scared, but we made it, dude. It is so good. Honestly, it's one of my favorite horror films of the year. If it weren't for a few things, I would probably give it a perfect score. I will say that since this is a movie about a dog, you're not really paying that much attention to the humans, and the dialogue that the humans have, like the guy who plays Todd, the actor's name is Shane Jensen, and I think he gives a fine performance. I think it kind of comes down to the writing of the dialogue, just because there is so few words spoken in this thing. Every word felt like it needed to have purpose, you know what I mean? So like, Todd's on the grounds and he's walking, and there's a neighbor that comes up, and he's like, really? You're living in your grandpa's old home? Like, aren't you worried about the paranormal stuff? You know, that's not word for word, but like, it's spoken directly like that, to where you're like, okay, I see that the dialogue is literally just one thing after another, trying to very quickly set up the plot that we're dealing with here. And so that's really my only knock. I want to give it my Jones Vibe star rating, and I'm giving Good Boy 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is a wonderful movie. I highly suggest watching it. But that's about it, my friends. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to know what you thought about this movie. Are you planning on seeing it? Please leave anything down there. Your opinion is always welcome. Also, make sure that you're out there keeping up the good vibes, all right? I will see you in the next video. Peace!